Hello, team. So we've just finished up our Wellness Club call, and I said I'd give you a few movement-based grounding techniques. You have to excuse me, I'm in my snuggliest of gears. So I'd love to just give you a few. Excuse me, I'm also in the bus, so it's not the best setting to be recording, but you will get the gist from this. Okay, so the first technique I want to teach you, and you may have seen this or tried this already, is called the sway breath. Okay, so you want to either just come with the feet and begin to sway, or you'll put the hands out as well and kind of take whatever movement with the arms that feels good, whether they move with you or whether they stay still or whether they come lower. That's up to you. What feels good in your neck, what feels good in your shoulders. So listen to your body as you start to sway. I'm going to move my arms for this. And then when you've got a sway going and that feels kind of rhythmic and calming, really want you just to tune into the body. What does that feel like? What sensations are you noticing? And then begin to align your breath. Inhaling to one side and exhaling to the other, perhaps, if you're going really slow. If you're going a little faster because that feels good for you, maybe inhaling to one side, holding, exhaling as you go back to that same side. Okay, and you might want to do this for 30 seconds. You might want to do this for a couple of minutes. You might want to switch up the tempo. You might want to rock slightly. Whatever feels good. Sometimes it feels nice to get a bit of a twist. So give that one a go. Okay, so there's one. Another one that I want to show you is a way of activating your vagus nerve, which we know is sort of one of the key cranial nerves involved in the parasympathetic nervous system, which helps us to come to a place of rest, digest, restore, and calm. Okay, so there's two things I want to give you to try to access this piece. Take a deep breath, and really gently, we're going to tip our head off to one side, bringing our left ear toward our left shoulder. If it feels okay for the neck, you can bring the left arm up and just gently rest it on the head. That doesn't feel okay for my neck. My neck is a little bit tense, so I'm not going to do that right now. And from this place, continuing to breathe into the diaphragm, we're going to look up and to the right. And you're going to hold it there for 30 seconds, a minute, or until you spontaneously yawn or swallow. And then we're going to come over to the other side, right ear to right shoulder, and looking up to the left. And we're going to keep ourselves in this position so long as that feels okay for the neck. For 30 seconds, a minute. You can be longer if you want to, or until you spontaneously swallow or yawn. Okay, another one. Movement-based grounding is coming into a really gentle twist. So you're going to take your left hand off to perhaps your right knee if you're sitting, and bring your right hand just behind you, just to where it feels okay for you, and then come into looking over the shoulder and perhaps taking the gaze up to the ceiling, and then really directing the breath down into the diaphragm here. We don't want to be breathing high up into the chest. You want to hold it there for 30 seconds, a minute, maybe until you swallow or sigh or yawn, and then switching to your other side. Just whatever feels okay. Don't strain yourself here. And wanting to really tune in these places, in these positions, to what you feel in the body, noticing how it feels to be in a twist, maybe shaking it out as you come back to center. Right, I want to give you two more brief movement-based exercises, and they're to do with the feet. So I'm going to bring this with me and angle it down so that you can hopefully see my feet here, but I'm not a foot model, so don't get excited. And what we want to do in this place is come into a nice sort of standing position, hips under our, feet under our hips. And we're going to start to sway again, but rocking ourselves onto the edges of the feet. And as you're doing this, we're breathing deeply and we're noticing what that feels like on the feet. We're noticing what it feels like to connect into the earth, to feel grounded. Feel your body and your weight being supported, being held. As with any of our grounding tools, we're connecting with the breath along the way here and also noticing if our mind wanders, that's okay, but coming back to just being present in your experience. What does this feel like? You can also take the sway the other way, rocking onto the balls of your feet and then your heels, either just doing that as really gently. So I'm just going to hike these up a bit so you can see, either doing this really gently to this sort of extent, or maybe lifting the toes and even coming up onto your toes a little bit and just noticing what that feels like. Always feels nice at the end of these exercises to give it a bit of a shake. And the last one, which I really, really love and often use to ground myself, is taking a seat somewhere. And then I love doing this in bare feet because it creates such a sensation. It's just taking a gentle floor foot rub, okay? So back and forward with the feet. And it's ticklish, so you can alter the pressure by kind of anchoring yourself down and really pushing into the earth with the feet, or you can do that really lightly and maybe switching between those and just noticing what that feels like. Again, we're doing all these grounding experiences as though we'd never done them before. It's almost like trying to imagine, how would I describe this sensation to someone who could not feel. So we're kind of wanting to drop deeply into these grounding exercises to experience them fully. So that's it for now. A few things to try. Please give them a go and let me know in the comments what that was like, which one was your favorite. I'd love to hear back from you. Okay, lots of love.